when that diagnosis is made that a patient is terminal and they don't have but a few months or weeks to live, it's easy to say there's nothing more that I can do, but that's when the real work begins.
Hospitals are more driven towards trying to extend life. Hospice really focuses on living the best life you can up until the last moment.
The hospice approach is that death is a part of life. It is actually a normal process, unpleasant but normal.
We're not just here for the care of the patient, we're here for the care of the family and the family members.
The most important thing that I learned is that you really never get over death. I still cry a lot, but it's a lot easier to talk to people about it now.
She only spoke one word the last 3 weeks of her life, and that was home.
We are equipped, not just physically, but emotionally, training-wise, and everything else, to help them live comfortably, to hold their hands on the last part of their journey.
Every day, hundreds of people throughout Western Colorado are challenged to find the courage and strength to cope with a serious illness or the grief and loss caused by the death of a loved one. Since 1993, Hospice and Palliative Care of Western Colorado has helped patients and their loved ones to find dignity, hope, and inspiration in their time of greatest need. From in-home care and support to symptom management, a professional staff of doctors, nurses, social workers, personal caregivers, spiritual care providers, and trained volunteers attend to a variety of patient needs. Hospice grief education and support services help adults, teens, and children deal with the devastating effects of a serious loss. For the staff and volunteers who do the work of hospice every day, hospice is not about dying. It's about hope, finding joy and peace in each moment. It is about living. This year alone, over 1,500 people will receive grief support from hospice. 500 will be children. Hospice helps with a variety of in-school and community programs like Camp Good Grief.
We take the kids through pretty intensive grief work. We eat a lot, we play a lot, we cry a lot, and it's an incredibly healing weekend for everyone.
Toward the end of the program, children decorate picture frames for a special ceremony honoring their loved ones and release butterflies in a symbolic gesture of love and remembrance.
It's based on a Native American story that if you whisper a secret on the wings of a butterfly, that butterfly will carry that message to people in the other life.
Our first year that we were open, I think we served about 130 hospice patients. Then this last year, we served over 1,000. We actually take care of 50% of all people who die in our communities.
The need for hospice services in Western Colorado has grown fivefold in 10 years, reflecting the area's rapidly expanding and aging population. Providing comprehensive care to widely spaced cities, towns, and countryside requires a hospice network of 160 professional staff members and 430 trained volunteers based in Montrose, Delta, Ouray, and Mesa counties. With rapidly increasing needs projected for the next decade and beyond, a commitment to develop new resources is critical. Almost half of those who die in our communities require services that are beyond hospice's current capabilities. With no inpatient hospice facilities between Denver and Salt Lake City, a serious gap in services exists for many patients who are too ill to stay at home, but don't belong in a hospital or nursing facility.
Acute care hospitals are not designed for dying patients. It's very critical that we have a dedicated hospice unit to serve the needs of the Western Slope.
The Strengthen the Heart of Care campaign is an urgent community effort to complete the vital circle of care for Western Colorado. The campaign is focused on the development of specialized facilities located in Montrose and Grand Junction during the next 3 to 7 years. The new facilities will offer critically ill patients and their families the comfort of a warm, home-like environment that includes the medical equipment and staff needed to provide quality end-of-life care. In Montrose, 5 beautiful acres of farmland have been donated by Grace Yoakum and the Yoakum family and set aside for a future hospice care inpatient center. Colorado's first inpatient hospice facility outside the Denver metro area will be built in Grand Junction on property donated by the Gene Taylor family. This acute care center will enable patients from the entire Western Slope to receive state-of-the-art palliative care when care at home is not possible. The new facility is part of a hospice campus that will include transformation of the historic Miller Homestead into the Center for Hope and Healing, serving the ever-increasing number of adults and children suffering the painful effects of losing a loved one. The Strengthen the Heart of Care campaign brings people and resources together to ensure that hospice services of the highest quality are available throughout Western Colorado. From a small group of people with a great vision to a large community with a common vision, hospice continues to bring courage, caring, hope, and healing to Western Colorado. In completing the circle of care for those who face death, all life in our communities is enriched. The participation of visionary pioneers in this campaign mirrors the spirit of past pioneers who established hospitals and other essential services that make our communities strong.
The advent of an inpatient facility would be greatly welcomed by the medical community. We see them as a key component of the healthcare delivery continuum.
It's a void in the continuum of hospice services that are currently provided, and I encourage everyone to step up and support hospice in this campaign.
Sooner or later, every family is going to be affected with what is represented in this program. The building project is needed, and it is both beneficial and cost-effective.
Having an inpatient hospice unit would be a wonderful way to fulfill that circle and make people be able to live their lives here and not have to be somewhere else in their final days.
These things don't happen overnight, and people need to plan for the future. The capital campaign is a key element for Montrose because we really do need the facility.
Everybody can be helped by hospice. This hospice facility and the inpatient care is one that's very well needed in the next few years.
There was a real need to move him to a facility where the family could grieve with him and enjoy him in his last months of life. A facility like this would not only bring peace to the patient, but would bring peace to the family as a whole.
I couldn't have done it at home without the hospice help, and I didn't have that inpatient center as an option. It's a beautiful philosophy, and I support it wholeheartedly.
As Eva progressed toward the inevitable, it got a little more difficult to handle her situation. There's no question in my mind that there's a definite need for a hospice inpatient facility, and I'm certainly going to support it any and every way I can.
It's not about all the money that you make, or it's not about all the things that you can have, but it's about what you really give back.
It's one of the biggest fundraisers that's going to hit this valley, but to have a facility that you could depend on for that kind of care and support for your family, what bigger tribute could you leave to someone?
There are many good causes in this community, and I back and support many of them, but this hospice program right now is what I would call a priority and number one.
That's really what the spirit of hospice is. It's community coming together to change how people cope with death and go through the dying experience. The people who invest in this project will have the satisfaction of knowing that they created something that for years to come people will appreciate, and it cannot happen without them.